The biggest blag I did for the Sunday Times, that's too difficult a question to answer because I did so many blags. There were so many front pages, it's impossible to pinpoint. Pricing for blagging was fairly straightforward. I had a menu. I guess the process would be that the journalists would try and obtain the information through legitimate channels, and as soon as those were exhausted, then the dark arts were employed and I'd receive a phone call. So the work just kept on coming in. The next directory phone number was £125. Friends and family was a list of the 5 most frequently called numbers would be £220. To penetrate a bank account was £250 a month. Utilities search was £40 per utility. Tax would be somewhere between £200 and £400 depending on the victim. Health records, £500. Then there'd be an individual transaction, so knowing where a payment came from or a payment went, that was £150. £450 for an international bank account. I'm sorry, there are just too many. There were real special projects, such as obtaining copies of party manifestos or advanced copies of confidential reports, autobiography, pre-publication, and other nefarious activities. I obtained Geoffrey Robinson's biography and was paid £10,000 in cash by Insight. That took me 10 minutes and it was the quickest 10 grand I ever made in my life. Money changed hands in various ways depending on the project. Generally speaking, I would be commissioned, I'd finish the job, send a report, and follow the report with a bill that would go in directly to News International. On the more illegal or sensitive ventures, I was paid in cash, and in certain examples, I was paid to secret bank accounts that had been established offshore. That was for Insight, the Sunday Times. Went on until 2010 when I was finally arrested and charged under the Fraud Act for trying to obtain a copy of Tony Blair's autobiography, pre-publication, at the request of Insight. Yeah, that was my last blag.
Sunday Times hired a former actor from Somerset called John Ford to work as a blagger, is that right?
Yes.
How often was he used, do you know?
I don't know precisely, but he was used by Insight on various investigations.
I think it's pretty obvious from his skills, but he was employed because of his skills for impersonation, is that right?
Sounds like it.